Well, hello and welcome to my latest video. I'm doing two videos in one day. What is the reason for that? Well, boredom, I suppose. Went for a long bike ride with my daughter yesterday, 82 miles, 6,500 feet of climbing, the ride by the numbers, as my friend Dustin Klein would say. So today is getting a little damp outside, weather's changing, summer is coming to an end, lockdown is coming, well, maybe lockdown is coming. So I thought, I need to entertain some people and inform, educate, inform and entertain. Wasn't that the motto of the BBC? And far be it from me to compare my videos to the BBC. But if you learn something and you are occasionally amused by my ramblings and my rantings, then my work on this earth is done. So a big warm welcome to any viewers, new viewers as well as existing viewers. I hope you enjoy these little videos. Now, I did a video about a week ago about essential tools to take on the bike, and I covered quite a lot about multi-tools and talked about some of my favourite multi-tools. But it struck me that if you're fairly new to cycling, or even if you're an experienced cyclist, you might occasionally look at your multi-tool and say, I don't actually know what the tool on that multi-tool is for. So in this video, I want to go through what the various tools are for. Now, on this, I must stop saying now. I commented on that in one of my previous videos, saying how I say NOW quite a lot. So repetition or deviation or hesitation, that's it. Those are the things that are best avoided. So let's start off. Well, here's a little tool here. I don't know how well you can see some of these things. I'm going to hold that up closely. And this is a tool that's you see relatively recently on multi-tools. Didn't appear until about 20 years ago, and it coincided with the rise of veganism. And the reason for it is that one of the things that vegans eat a lot of is nuts. And if you eat a lot of nuts, you will occasionally find that a bit of nut gets caught either in your fillings or between your teeth or whatever. And this tool is a bit like a metal toothpick or a steel toothpick. It's designed so that you can get the nuts, whether you're peanuts, cashew nuts, hazelnuts, almonds, walnuts. Why is they're called nuts, aren't they? Hazelnuts, cashew nuts, pistachio nuts, walnuts. But an almond is just an almond. Can anyone explain that? So this is to remove the nut from a vegan's teeth. Sorry, just coughing a little bit. Not a sudden new cough. No, not indeed. Now this, I said it again, didn't I? I said now. This tool here, and I'm struggling to get it out, guys. This tool here is let's do this gradually. I'm going to slow down so that I perhaps sound a bit like my friend Henry Wildberry. If you don't watch Henry Wildberry's videos, that's all one word, curiously enough, Henry Wildberry. He's a Californian, and he's such a laid-back dude. It's got to be the weather. It's got to be. Is it the weather? I mean, they've got terrible fires, so I'm not sure you would be completely laid back anyway. Henry Wildberry is such a laid back dude. He's obviously a deadhead. Whether he's a furious doper like my mate Dustin Klein, I have no idea, and I cast no aspersions either on. Well, they're not aspersions at all. Dustin Klein quite revels in it. Anyway, that's getting off the subject. This is, yes, it's a knife, but there are a couple of reasons why it appears on a multi-tool like this. The first reason is when you go gravel riding and you go out into the forest, one of the temptations is to carve your initials in a tree. In my case, that would be JH for Julian Hutchings. JH was here, just to let other gravel cyclists know that you'd passed through that particular forest. Now, I'm a member of Old Portland's Cycling Club, www.oldportlandcc.co.uk, and some of my fellow riders would like to have gravel bikes, but they don't have them. So what I do, just to kind of embrace them into the gravel riding community, is I carve their initials onto trees in the forest or benches that I find. I find the wooden gate posts around churches, they're quite good as well. And if I see like a cave or a collection of attractive rocks or boulders, then I like to carve their initials in there as well. So everyone in the gravel community knows that they pass by. So that's one of the reasons for using the knife. Another reason is, as a cyclist, you probably eat a lot of oats, because cyclists like their porridge, they like their oats. It's a good slow release carb. But what many people don't know is that the oats, the normal oats that you get, are fairly small. But if they are smaller still, then they are much better for you, and they release the carbs much more slowly. So the thing to do is to take your individual oats. I wouldn't put it on your finger because that can be quite dangerous, but to take your individual oats, put it on a hard surface, perhaps a rock or a piece of wood or something like that, and then just slice it in half. And if you have if you cut the oats in half, that will give you double the quantity, and that means that the carbs are released more slowly. The other reason is when you're out gravel riding, and you want to make a fire. You shouldn't make a fire in California at the moment. That would be very bad news. But you want to make a fire to heat your oat pasta or your vegan porridge or whatever it is that you're eating, your nut sandwiches. And if you use this saw, this knife element here, you can cut little pieces of kindling, and that way you can make a little fire. Don't make a big fire, but you can make a little fire in the forest, and then you can cook up your food, and that's very tasty. This particular tool here may be familiar to you as a bottle opener. It doesn't work on beer bottles or Coca-Cola bottles. They're frowned on in the cycling community because they're not good for you. So this is used for a ketchup bottle or a soy sauce bottle, or even an olive oil bottle. Olive oil can be quite good for you. Don't drink it in large quantities, but it contains monounsaturates, which are supposed to be very good for you. And vegans quite enjoy olive oil. So that if you use this, you can lever the bottle top off. You'll notice on this tool there is a little hole here, and you may have wondered what that is for. Well, the reason for that is if you're out on a ride and you stop at a shop and you buy some spaghetti for your evening meal that you're going to cook over the little fire that you've used the saw element for prepare the kindling, and when you're gravel cycling, or even if you're just cycling but bike packing, you need to ensure that the spaghetti you're eating is the right size. If it's too wide, it's very difficult to digest, and you won't be keen to get back on the bike in the following morning. So the reason for this little hole, this little measuring hole here, is you put the spaghetti through the hole there, and if it fits, then you can eat it, and if it doesn't fit, then you can throw it away. This little tool at the end here, sometimes if you go into a tea shop or a coffee shop and you order a cream tea, and for the people who are not British, cream tea is a scone, or even a scone or scone, that is served with butter. I like it with butter as well as cream, but traditionally it's served without butter, but with cream and with jam. And sometimes you get a little pot of jam with a little lid on it. You can use this to get the lid off, but it doesn't come with a spoon. So if you use this end of the tool, then you can get the jam out of the pot and you can spread it on your scone. Don't use it on toast. It doesn't work on toast, but if you spread it on a scone, then that works effectively. Now, one of the things that isn't on this particular tool, but is on this tool, is this little chap here. And what this is for, again, mainly used in the gravel riding community, if you need to go to the toilet when you're cycling around, you've set up your camp, you've pitched your tent, and you have an overwhelming desire to leave some feces in the field, or the farmer's field, or within the woods where you are, and you haven't got a separate shovel that is designed for that particular purpose, well, that's what this is for. It takes a while to dig a little hole, or a big hole if you've had a big meal, but if you dig that hole, and then you can do your business in the hole, and then you can cover it up with the dirt. So that's particularly useful. This tool, you'll notice, also has the bottle opener. Sorry, just trying to organise it. It's quite tight, that one. Not quite sure why that is. This also has the bottle opener. All these tools are coming out. Not quite sure why this is. It seems to be everything seems to be stuck here. Anyway, this. Oh, sorry about that. That again has the little bottle opener there for your olive oil bottle, or your ketchup bottle as well. Has the little jam scoop there for when you're eating your scone or your scones. And this has a sort of diamond or triangular shaped. Is it triangular? I'm not quite sure. What shape would you call that? It is used. It is used for a spaghetti measurer. But in Scandinavian countries, where spaghetti is very popular, they have a particular design of spaghetti which is triangular. So this particular tool is largely sold in Scandinavian countries and enables you to make sure that the triangular spaghetti that you buy is the right size. This particular tool here is a chain tool, and there is also one on this this tool here. This is the chain tool here, and the reason for that is if you're gravel cycling, again, a lot of these tools have been designed with the rise in gravel cycling recently, and you come to a field which is protected by a chain link fence, and you think that looks like a nice field, I'd like to camp in there. Well, this chain tool is designed to enable you to break into that chain link fence. You just wrap this tool around the links, and you squeeze that together, and hey presto, you've broken the chain. So they're very useful. That is, it comes with this particular tool. I'm not sure if I can get this off. No, I can't get it off. But this tool here, and you see this curved wire here, if you can remove that, that's a miniature coat hanger. So when you're camping out in the fields, you've taken off your nice Rafa jersey, you want to hang it up, just push these here through the material. It leaves a small mark, but it doesn't damage it completely. Push these through the material, and then you can hang that on a branch, and that will keep your nice Rafa jersey neat and tidy until the next day. Both of these tools have a collection of these things here, and we have the similar collection here, and we call these Allen keys, named after a gentleman called Allen, funnily enough. And you'll find that there's about 4 or 5 or 6 even here. There's quite a few here of these Allen keys. And the reason for that is that some of these keys work on the left side of your bike, and some of them work on the right side of your bike. Now it will be in the instructions that you receive with your multi-tool, so make sure you study those carefully, because you don't want to use a left-sided Allen key on a right-sided bolt, and you don't want to use a right-sided Allen key on a left-sided bolt, because you'll have problems. On the right side, you screw it up by turning it that way, but on the left-hand side, you screw it up by turning it that way, and this can cause a certain amount of confusion, particularly with people who are unfamiliar with the work of a cycle mechanic. So please try and remember those things. The reason why I carry two of these multi-tools, is because this tool only works on a day when there is an R in the name. In other words, it only works on a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday or a Sunday. It's got to be a day when there is an R in the word. And this tool actually works on any day of the week, but it's quite unusual to find a tool that does that. They're usually fairly expensive, and as you can tell, there's a big collection of tools. It's quite weighty, but it works on any day of the week. Now you might be wondering where you can store these tools on your bike. Well, one of the new methods these days is to store them in your bar ends. You'll know at the end of your handlebar where your bar tape goes, there is like a rubber plug. Well, if you remove that rubber plug, you'll be able to fit this tool in. It might take a certain amount of pushing, a certain amount of effort, and you may have to fold up some of these tools, but you will be able to get it into that bar end. And this one is designed to work in your seat post. So you'll need to remove your seat, your saddle, as we like to call it in the bicycle trade, and you'll also need to remove your seat post. You'll also have to remove your pedals at the same time, any mud guards if you're using them, and brake cables. But if you do that, you'll be able to fit this tool into your seat post. So when you have a problem and you get to your campsite or your gravel cycling and you're in the woods, then if you dismantle your bike, it helps if you carry another tool, perhaps this one in your bar ends, because you'll need to be able to take this tool out of your bar ends in order to dismantle your bike, so you're able to get at the tool that you've hidden in your seat post. And if you are, after all that exertion, needful of going to the toilet, well, then you have this particular tool there to dig a hole. I hope you found that useful. Do be careful if you go to a bike shop and you ask them about the uses of some of these tools. They may give you a lot of frankly unhelpful and frankly simply wrong information, and say these tools are used for the bolts on your bike, or to fix your chain, or for something like that, tire levers maybe. But take it from me, most bike shops really don't know what they're talking about. If you want to get the full SP, the full lowdown, as they say in the States, then you need to watch my videos. Sorry it's been a bit long-winded. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's enlightened you as to the use of many of the tools on a multi-tool. And happy cycling. Happy cycling. Yes, take my advice and enjoy your cycling. And come back and watch me again. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.